Hi, guys, and welcome to the Ramon Foster Show. He's Ramon over in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports here in downtown Pittsburgh. And sorry about yesterday, everybody. I just wasn't in a position to make it.
Yeah. See, this is the thing that DK does. And I'll be honest, I do it too. It's never done until it's done, and it's never no until you can't.
Right. And all I kept thinking was, because I'm on the turnpike heading back from Philadelphia, where I went to do the Penguins Flyers game, and I also wanted to see my son who's going to school out there. So I stayed up with me and him. We went, got McDonald's. We had fun. We were in the car, and I don't regret it. But like, I still felt so guilty. You do too when that happens, don't you?
Dude, I do, DK. Like, seriously, man. When it's never friggin' like no until you know you absolutely cannot. Like, that's a problem of mine for sure. And I know for a fact it's a problem of yours. And you're never tired until your body decides to shut down.
Oh, I did that 3 times on the turnpike. And I went, look, hey, stop.
Ow, really?
Oh, yeah. 3 different times.
Oh, man. DK, I got to be honest, too. After Monday's show, and I'm so glad we actually have a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
After Monday's show, it took me to the deep end. Like, for the first time, I felt like, and like doing this show with you, DK, that one was a iffy one to kind of lose.
It wasn't fun.
It wasn't.
No, and actually these last couple of days, I'm not going to lie to you. The response I've gotten to stuff either I've done as podcasts or written has been really nasty, snarly. Like they're taking it out on us. And I get it the day after, but let's go for something a little bit better today.
You want me to go ahead and ding this bell real quick, man?
Oh, I like that idea.
It's flawless, just like the week we'll have, DK. Flawless,
just like that.
Just like that.
I'm checking the Steelers injury report, which just came out, and I see that Najee Harris is now listed as questionable with the knee injury. Out, or James Pierre questionable as in Landon Roberts. No surprise there. Mason Cole is questionable with a neck injury. Isaac Seumalo is questionable. So you've got some issues there on the line, regardless of what you think of Mason Cole's snaps. You're still putting in somebody cold there. Center and left guard, Moan. That's Mitch Trubisky's early Christmas present, is having 2 new faces there, maybe? Who knows?
Hey, he could pull a Zach Wilson and said, I'm good. He could do that, DK. He legitimately could say, nah, man, I know what I'm getting myself into. But nah, man, speaking of center and left guard, I should be able to see one of those, maybe 2 of those individuals on the left side this upcoming weekend, as I got to go to Miami for work. And I think there's how you say that? Alejandro Villanueva. I should be able to see him and Marquise this weekend. Speaking of the left side, I'm sure this group would love to have them back, DK.
Like today.
I know Mitch would love to have them back too, right?
Like as is. Like I'll take skinny Marquise right now.
I'll take Al might be like 240. Now Al ain't that small, I don't think, man. But what I'm saying is this: it's tough sledding. But this time of the year, man, when it gets a little bit colder outside, the season gets a little bit longer. That's why it's always 100% injury rate. What the NFL is, it's not just the sport of playing. 4 months of football, but it's every single week, and the physicality of it. I'm actually shocked we've been this healthy this far. I'll be honest.
I mean, on the offensive side, the line really, it goes back 2 years, because last season nobody missed a snap hardly.
Crazy. One, if I'm not mistaken, which is wild, DK. It's insane amount of health, man. And of course, man, this is just where you at too. Big issues. Yeah, quarterback is always the biggest one. What to expect out of Mitch Trubisky? I have no idea. Okay, I ain't got a clue, DK. But Mitch has always been a guy, man. He's good until he's not, and when it's bad, it gets real bad. So I'm hoping for the sake of this season and for the sake of his career too, this Thursday night game turns into a very solid win to where he can go into the next week understanding like this is my job. And of course, this is going to be the biggest questions of them all. If Mitch Trubisky does bad, what do you do with Mason Rudolph?
I can't see. I mean, unless Mitch throws like 5 picks and gets benched, I don't think you're going to see any situation where you would have Mason Rudolph come in. I really don't, barring an injury.
Sure.
I'm not saying that because I hope for it or whatever. It's just that I don't envision it. The head coach, he's putting into place. That's actually what I want to talk with you about today here, because we haven't had a chance to do this. Okay, Mitch Trubisky this is now his 7th year.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Okay. Hang on. Eighth year. Okay.
Look that up for you. Let me effort that for you.
5 with the Bears, 1 as a backup with the Bills, and this is his 2nd with the Steelers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 of those were as a starter. And along the way, he had some big performances. You go back and look at his 2nd year.
Years. Yep.
His 2nd year in the league, he was a budding star.
He was
in the NFL. And I have a hard time coming to grips with the idea that the Steelers are about to downgrade at quarterback from what Kenny was offering them at this time, as opposed to who's going to give us more hope for the future or whatever else.
I like that, yeah.
Right now, I could argue that Mitch is the better guy to have in there right now.
I could see that, DK. That's the thing behind it is you expect it to be that way. And I'm not telling you I'm not, in on what Mitch Trubisky can do. But looking at his track record, every time he gives you some sugar, you know what I'm saying? Every time he gives you some juice to drink out of, you get drunk off juice. and then it's two. And then we got a sugar rush. And then, the crash comes after that. I'm not saying that it's not what, he's not capable. I think he's very capable.
Time out.
What, DK?
Not the first person to point out that Moan looks good today. What is this all about? What am I missing here? You just look like Moan to me.
I cut down the hair a little bit. Even my wife was in there, just like, oh, you look good. Wednesday's
about stuff like today. This. Okay,
I trimmed up pretty nice today, DK.
Moan looking crisp today, says Jessica.
Y'all notice this is what happens when you make me go to 1080p, DK.
Oh yeah, he was at 720 before we pushed the go live button. No, let's go high def, Moan.
I'm going down in resolutions, DK. That's what I'm doing.
No. Jessica won't have it. She says you look crisp.
Well, let me go ahead and throw my sunglasses on too, DK, while we're at it. Okay.
So go ahead.
But here's the thing about Mitch. What if Mitch lights it up again? Then no, ain't no drama. I want to dead that now. There's no drama. I think Kenny's your guy. I will say this. I don't know how long Kenny is your guy, though. I'm already on that train. Unless he turns that leaf over that Ben mentions going into year 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ben has always said, it's like I'm preaching to the choir here. 3 years is what you get before we figure out what you are. Next year's that 3rd year for Kenny. When we get to this conversation, then there's drama. Ain't no drama. You either got one guy or you got none of them, the way I'm looking at this group, DK.
People, I got something to say. Corky says, we know who Mitch is. Hang on. Hayden's daddy comes in and says, this is Mitch's last shot at an NFL career in the field. He's playing with Matt Canada out of the building, has good arm, athletic talent. No, he actually has a really good arm and really high athletic talent. He's worked with Mike Sullivan for a while. I think this could be huge. How many starts has Mitch Trubisky had in black and gold?
In black and gold? I can effort that.
No, right I know now. It. No, I know it.
Oh, you know it?
Yeah. It's 5.
Yeah.
We made up our minds about this guy so fast, and I'm not an exception to this. I wanted to see Kenny just like everybody else did, okay? We made up our minds about this guy instantly, and I think we did so on purpose. Phyllis says, DK, did you see Mitch last year? I did, and he was better than what we got from Kenny, okay?
Yeah.
Now, the difference is Kenny brings hope. Kenny's young. Kenny's the first rounder. Kenny was the kid that took, of all programs, Pitt. somewhere significant.
Yeah.
Okay. So we like Kenny. We liked Kenny. We loved the story the moment it happened. We wanted Kenny to be that guy so badly. And you know what? He still might be. But the burial of Mitch, I guarantee you, if you went and took a survey out here right now on Fifth Avenue, just ask people how old Mitch Trubisky is, they'd say that he's 33 or 34. He's 29.
He's young.
Okay? This idea that that's it, we saw him, scratch him off the list. Come on. Yeah, does he have issues? Of course he does. Protect the football.
He does, but I'm just tempering. I'm tempering my expectation to what he's turned into. Now, here's the thing. We've seen other players go to other places and make big careers for themselves. Gino's probably the best storyline of a guy seasoning well to becoming a pro. I ain't saying that that's what Mr. Trubisky's going to be, but what I'm saying, his time in the league, these 7 years, he's vested. He's had second, third contracts because he's on short deals and stuff like that, right, DK? So he understands the game, multiple offenses. His thing is understanding what his limitations are. I feel like the times we see like Mr. Trubisky throwing into double, triple coverage, or trying to throw the ball away and don't get it past the line of scrimmage, or getting an intentional grounding, those are the things that he's got to clean up. You ain't got to be a hero every time. The same stuff that we asked out of Kenny is the same thing that we're asking out of Mitch right now. Like, to say that he's an NFL quarterback, the answer is yes, he is an NFL quarterback. Is it NFL starter? That opportunity presents itself for these next 5 games of this season, DK.
You know, but here's my question for you. 11-year NFL offensive lineman, you're up there, you feel the vibe. You can tell when the people around you are confident in the quarterback. You and I talked about that even in your playing days. You can feel it in the huddle sometimes, okay? When you have all these pre-snap penalties and you have guys being undisciplined and they're all over the place, and this guy wants the ball, that guy wants the ball, this guy's dancing after a touchdown or whatever. Mitch Trubisky was chosen to be the team captain last season and remained a team captain even after he lost his job.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Whether he's popular in there or not isn't the issue. It's whether or not he can lead.
He can lead.
This team needs somebody who can walk up to that line of scrimmage and say, whoa, hey, what's this?
And I'm talking about,
okay, hang on a second. I don't like this.
Big time.
It needs somebody who can walk up to that line and read the safety and say, you know what, I'm not going to have my first read. So when I step back, I'm not just going to panic all over the place. I'm not saying Mitch is the answer here, okay? But I'm saying that I think in this moment, he's a better option. Not that there is an option for Kenny to play.
I don't push back on that one. I'm just being this way because this week has just been one of those types of weeks where it's just like the expectation they were supposed to win last week. I think let's go 85-15. Like, that was where I was seeing as many guys that went down last weekend sucked. Also wanting to see what Kenny Pickett morphs into. I think it dampens it a little bit. And of course, that's just the cohesion of everything that's happened this year. It seemed like the moment you get right, there's like somebody pulling the rug from underneath you in these moments. Y'all are far too kind. But here's what we now Mo looked like he showered before the show. What is wrong with y'all people?
Did you shower before the show?
I did not today, okay? I actually put on clothes and everything today, DK.
Oh, I did too. Now you're going to force me to interrupt you. You want to talk about GQ?
Yeah.
I got Hey Moan here from the hoodie. This is the first time I wore this. I also have under here, wait, just in case something happens, I have an emergency backup.
I love that color.
T-shirt.
That's what I'm talking about.
Logo designed by the boss over there. And you can get it too. You can get it too, by the way, if you want these. Here, watch this.
DK.
I'm typing it in there. This is so much more important than what we were talking about.
I did see some people bring up the question earlier this week on Monday, where can they get the merch from? So I'm glad you're putting that up, DK.
Yeah, it's really simple. This web address, you have to type it out. Make sure you're case sensitive on the Ramon shop.
Case sensitive.
Okay, and then there's only one S in there. Ramon shop. Type it in there. You'll go right to our online store where we have all this stuff. Pick your size, pick your colors.
There
Do
it
it
is.
however. Look at that. He's got it saved.
You can tap it. No, I tapped it from the comments. I tapped it from the comments, and you can hit the link right in the live comments on YouTube, just as a heads up. If you see it, tap it. All right, there it is. Different colors. So that army green one is friggin'.
That's my favorite one. Yeah,
it is mine too. I love that one.
It works the best with the logo that she made. I actually mentioned that to her before we went on the air.
Hey,
she doesn't take compliments well.
That's what I was gonna say. We got to stop complimenting her. She might fight.
I said, you know, by the way, you did a really nice job on this logo. You know what I got back was something like, "Oh yeah." What did you think I was going to do?
Stone cold. By the way, I'm efforting Ben right now to pop in on FaceTime on this show. Just so you know, I saw somebody ask that question a second ago.
John says, hate to be negative, but I feel like Kenny is a concussion or two from retiring. Mo, and that's a very real subject. I'm not a big fan of the injury-prone label for anybody. I think it's most often it's applied unfairly to professional athletes, but
and their football injuries too.
But you put yourself in positions to get hit.
You know what, though? I can say this as a former player, somebody who understands Pittsburgh. Here's two things. One thing for sure that's going to happen. You're going to play a physical style of football in Pittsburgh. There's an expectation like that's going to happen. And not saying that's Kenny, but when people come into Pittsburgh, people attack you that way too.
Right.
His ability to protect himself, though, Kenny Pickett, that is, has to go up a little bit. Like, I'm with you, DK. When you come into this league, and Joe Burrow is in that same conversation. If we can get real, he's had a good bit of these. You see what Miami's doing right now with Tua. Tua has barely run the ball at all in Miami. Why, DK? Because they found out that he is very injury prone. Look at his stat line. His rushes might be below 20 on the year. Now, fair or unfair, to your point, DK, about Kenny's getting, always injured. He's injury prone, the concussions, retirement and stuff like that. If you usually start out your career like that, DK, and it doesn't get fixed, this is 2 years back to back for Kenny. A 4.3 is beautiful, DK. Jumping the 42-inch vertical, bench pressing the 225 40 times is good. All those abilities are awesome for football, right, DK?
Mm-hmm.
The best ability of all of them is availability. Kenny has had an issue with that.
And the fact that it feels like it could be controllable as opposed to he just ran into a whole lot of rotten luck. If you look, like you said, these were football injuries, pure football injuries, meaning he got hit. He got caught or grabbed or something from behind. He's running into these plays. He's literally running into some sacks when he does that spin thing to the left, and he's putting himself exposed. There's no one who can block for him on that left side in that situation. Like, Moan, if you were aware, you were blocking for him, and you were aware of that tendency, how could you adjust to it as a left guard?
You really want my answer?
I do.
My real answer, especially since he's a young guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, will you keep your effing butt in this pocket? I can't block for you. And just like that, DK, like with a little bit of respect, like, hey, bro, can you keep your MF self in the pocket? How am I going to protect you if I don't know what you're doing? If you're rolling out of the pocket, then how can I help you if you're rolling to the left? You get sacked and get hit, that's on you. Like, that's the reality of it. Like, what do you want? Like, it's that simple, DK.
If you look at Dan Moore and Isaac Seumalo, the two guys on the left side now, obviously, of that line, you'll see after Kenny does one of those things, look at their body language. They kind of got their hands on their hips like, the hell did you want me to do here?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you want me to do? I'm trying to do my job here. I have a script. I'm following it. I had my guy. What are we doing?
Yeah, I see Kia said, help me help you. Yes.
Perfect. That's it.
In the words of like as being a good teammate, that's got to be relayed to him in a matter that he has to understand that. And again, we mentioned the leadership aspect of this group offensively. Mitch Trubisky was voted captain and probably could have, should have been this year again because vocally and experience, right, DK?
Mm-hmm.
But like those type of hard conversations that teammates like myself and Marquise and watching James Harrison and James Ferry on the other side, Ryan Clark, okay, like have those moments where Kiesel, be real with one another. Shazier, even Vince Williams. Like, the reality of having hard conversations with your teammates make you better. And that's one that Kenny has to have, or just tell him, look, you can get with us or you're going to be out so much that you're going to get gone. I know we're supposed to be up today, DK. This is the
I'm
reason.
trying. Here, we'll do this. Evan says, and then we're going to go to our little break. Says, Mitch excites me. He stepped right up in the pocket and threw a dime to Pat Freiermuth for a first down in that last game. I've only seen Kenny do that once, meaning to step up in the pocket. I know exactly the play Evan is citing here. Okay. Evan, whatever it is that you or anybody thinks about Mitch, okay, and I agree about the interceptions and the takeaways, and he himself brought up on his own this week how he needs to be more responsible with the football. Mm-hmm. But he's coming there with more arm talent, more leg talent, more experience, more leadership. I'll take an interception or two. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy for me to say, and then the dude's running back with a pick six. Hey, DK, here's your interception you wanted, but it's not the same thing.
Stupid.
You know what I'm saying?
You idiot, man. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. We got some great stuff coming in.
All right, we do. Let's put little stars on those.
Yeah,
and take them right after we take care of the.
By the way, Luis, man, I shower daily. This is one thing my granddad and uncles always tell me. I know we said this earlier. Big dudes can't afford to be like unkept. Okay, You're too big, and you carry mass around you. If you're a big dude that don't look like they shower, we're gonna talk about you. Okay, people see you first. That was one thing my uncles and granddad always said. I just had to say that. Like, we shower daily around. I don't know about DK.
He takes care of his feet too.
I went and got a pedicure on yesterday, actually.
See, he goes to the Willie Cologne Pedicure Center.
I needed it too, DK. That sounds so bad. Get me out of here. That's the only segment that matters, DK. Is
yeah. At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
We come back from that smooth pedicure segue here on the Ramon Foster Show. Get me off of this screen. Mentoring Men says that Mitch is not scared, period. And now that can also be a drawback for a quarterback. Okay, yes. If you have no fear of any outcome out there, you're gonna make mistakes. However, this is the absolute antithesis of what this offense has been for years now. Okay, I'd like to see it. I'd like to give it a try. You follow what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
I don't know if it's going to work, but I'd like to see it. I want to lay eyes on somebody at least trying something with this offense.
Mentoring Men, that comment is 100% correct.
Yes.
Because you need a little bit of that. But you also need a little bit of fear too. You know what it is with a lot of guys? There's a healthy balance, DK, of pure confidence and fearlessness and a little bit of anxiety. That little bit of anxiety is what pushes you through those fearful moments to where, hey, I'm better off checking down on the 7-yard instead of throwing a 15 down the field because I know there's a margin of error there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with him being fearless.
I want to see some football.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, remember when Mitch was acquired? He came from the Bills. Okay. And the Bills had a conversation with Kevin Colbert about him because you can do this sort of thing in that fraternity.
Yeah.
And he said, listen, we love the progress that we saw with Trubisky backing up Josh Allen. He wasn't able to get on the field in the regular season, but he had this one brilliant preseason performance, whatever. And they felt like in practice that he became a whole lot smarter, a whole lot more controlled, and that they saw basically think of it as a wild horse being tamed.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wild Bronco. Yeah.
Yeah. And they felt that was there. The Steelers bring him in. He had a nice summer. We forget that. Yeah. He had a nice summer. He had a nice preseason here. 5 games.
Yeah.
5 games under Matt Canada with rookie wide receiver, terrible offensive line.
Hard times, DK.
But that's it. He's done, Moan. He's toast.
Yeah,
right?
It is. It is what it is, DK. You got to see it all shake out, man. 100%. I'm here for it though, and we're gonna have to see it tomorrow night anyway.
Matt Hyde says, "Hey, Moan, will Mike Tomlin be on the hot seat if they lose again to another 2-10 team?"
Again, I told you, I think it's the idea that he's going to be tap dancing for sure. You know, you can't lose these types of games, but to clearly give you an answer, no, absolutely not. What happens moving forward? Let me ask you, and Matt, who do you want, or what style do you want though, too? Because again, ultimately, I think the louder crowd wants Coach Tomlin fired. The louder crowd. Not saying it's the biggest crowd. The louder crowd wants him fired. Who's the guy that's on your radar as far as searching for that type of dude? Because it's just not how the Rooneys operate. I can say that in the end of the season, January 8th, he could be fired. But I just want to know what constitutes the firing. When DK reeled off his records against lesser teams, it's not what you thought it was. He's actually very good winning percentage against winning teams and losing teams too.
Oh, he's elite at it. Yeah, but the exact opposite is the narrative, because we all remember Oakland, and now we're all going to remember Arizona.
Again, I told you, I thought the New England AFC Championship game was probably the worst one, though. That one was a worse loss to me than the Oakland game was, than Arizona game was. Oh, it's because he went deeper into the playoffs? No, we got railed in New England. I don't care if Le'Veon got injured or the microphones went out on the sideline, the headset, so we couldn't communicate properly. We got railed in New England. And that, to me, was probably a worse loss against a better opponent than us talking about his record against losing teams.
Our friend Jacob says, "Hey, Moan, can we just admit that Kenny isn't good? Can we do that now?"
Kenny Pickett?
Yeah,
I told you where I was.
Year and a half.
I told you where I was. I said he got next year's the test. Is the last test. And then you got to start making that decision, because that fifth year option comes due too. Kenny is a first round pick, so decisions can be made. And here's the exact same thing you're looking at. Mitch Trubisky did 4 years in Chicago. They didn't pick up his fifth year option. So here's the idea that you have in front of you. Do your 4 and get out. You find another draft pick after that.
S400 says, S4000, I should say. Don't want to underestimate him.
Please don't do that.
Comes in with a contribution and asks, "Hey, Moan, is Kenny not seeing the field, or is the O-line not giving him enough time to see the field?"
I would push back on the O-line not giving him time. He's had more time than you think this year. Kenny, to that point earlier before the Hey Moan segment, we talked about Kenny spinning out of the pocket. The time has been there. Every quarterback gets pressured. You're paid to take that pressure on too. Seeing the field, I don't know his mind, his brain, the play calling as far as what Matt Canada's had him doing. But what I'll say is this: when it comes down to decision making of his from time to time, it does get very questionable. But again, he can't help himself if he's not on the field. This stretch of games right here is where it starts to get real tight. And DK, I think you disclosed this to me a while back. The opponents that you're about to face down this stretch is not like you're about to face the 49ers, Kansas City, and these premier teams. It's a little bit lesser opponents with losing records. So he's going to miss these valuable reps in December, January football. And if they make the playoffs, he missed that too. So if he can't stay on the field to help himself to grow and learn, it's just like he should just be watching tape all day with no film. He's still at the same spot that he'll be in next year as far as experience.
We actually have a non-quarterback question here. I think it's the first one today, and one of the first. Drew says, "Hey, Moan and DK, will we be seeing Miles Jack or Martinez this weekend?" Blake Martinez.
Blake, yeah.
And, you're going to see Blake Martinez, I can tell you that. Miles Jack still is being described by the coaches, and this was Terrell Austin again yesterday, as getting back into shape. So when you hear that, that's not somebody you're handing a helmet tomorrow night.
Just give it time, right? Just give it time.
Blake Martinez will be out there. Michael Walker will be out there. And Landon Roberts is questionable, but that's tough to be questionable on a short week.
Look at the timeline. Look at the timeline also. If they're giving Miles Jack a little bit more time, then it probably says they want him to be all the way ready when his number is called as far as his playmaking ability. Blake Martinez situation to me, let's say this too. What was he on the practice squad, if I'm not mistaken?
Mm-hmm.
You look at where he was. It's not like he was on the active roster. The expectation from him anyway, for me, is just like, bro, just go make some plays. We'll evaluate your tape after this.
Yeah, it's a big issue. I think even going into tomorrow, these inside linebackers. There are ways for an ordinary coach to exploit something like that, much less Bill Belichick. You can say what you want about the talent he's got this season, but I can guarantee you that Belichick is salivating looking at those inside linebackers who might be out there. Go ahead.
100%. I got one right here from Daniel Pike. A great question, because I think it's very well rounded. Will they actually lean run heavy to reduce errant throws and protect the ball? Here's the thing that we've been asking for, though, Daniel. Open up the offense. Like, I know it's a short week and you wanted to be methodical to get the win and try to reduce errant throws and stuff like that, but we've all been asking for him to open up the offense and throw down the field. You got to be able to trust a 7-year guy that he's capable of doing that type of stuff. So I'm with you on errant throws, but I need a little bit more from a 7-year guy.
And also, Belichick's going to put 13 guys at the line of scrimmage.
Make him throw.
That's all he's going to do. Okay, Belichick's not going to get beat by the most obvious thing in the building.
Yeah.
Okay, what did the Patriots give up last week? Was it only like 6 points?
6-9 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
was the score.
One of the things that has to be understood here is that, yeah, they're 2-10.
Yeah,
like the Cardinals were, but there's certain things that are in play that have led to that. And the Patriots defense, obviously, nothing's great about a 2-10 team.
Yeah,
but it's been their offense that's been absolutely abysmal.
It is.
It's worse than Pittsburgh's, which is almost unimaginable.
It's the worst, DK. By the way, they lost 6-0 last weekend.
Yeah.
And the points per game that they have is 12.3 points a game. That's 32 out of 32.
I mean, that is really good defensive football. If you go back over their last 3 games, they've given up 10, 10, and 6 to the Colts, the Giants, and the Chargers. 10, 10, and 6, and they lost all 3 games. If you were part of a defense that gave up 26 points over 3 games,
I'd be calling people out.
And you went 0-3, you'd be going bananas.
Yeah, well, I'll say I wouldn't be calling people out. I'd be a better teammate. I'd be having text conversations with my homeboys like, man, this sucks. We got to figure some way to score points.
Now, I'm still going through this thing here. Austin Eckler of the Chargers, he was their leading rusher last week.
Yeah.
14 carries for 18 yards. That's hard to do. That's like taking the handoff and going down to one knee.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay?
It is.
So 2-10 is, I'm not trying to make advanced excuses for them, but I think the idea that the Steelers are just going to steamroller somebody offensively, this is a pretty good defense over the last 3 weeks.
Defensively, 100%, man. And here's another thing too, DK, as we speak about the teams that New England has played. I think it's fair to point this out too. You mentioned the Los Angeles Chargers, right?
Yes.
They have one of those, air quotation mark, those types of quarterbacks, right?
No, Justin Herbert, yeah.
So when we speak about trying to figure out what is and what isn't a franchise quarterback, they got one that can't even muster up over a touchdown against the New England Patriots. So what is a franchise quarterback, DK?
Well, I'm looking at his numbers. He went 22 of 37 for 212 yards. He didn't turn the ball over and he didn't get sacked, but he also didn't do anything. None of their receivers did either. I mean, they were 5 catches for 58 yards for Keenan Allen. And that just tells me that, Belichick had everybody geared up to not just stop the run, but to prevent the Chargers from even trying it. And then from there, they tackled the catch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a bad group. That's all I'm saying here is I think the idea that, 2-10, they should just roll right down the field against everybody. Now, on the other hand, the Patriots offense is so terrible.
Yeah, it is.
So awful that the Steelers defense has no excuse for not dominating them.
Yeah. That's 100% fact, DK. Even if TJ can't play. And I'm not sure what his status is too.
TJ?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be fine.
I love when you say that about TJ. Oh, he'll be fine.
Because that's the way he said it to me on
Yeah.
Sunday. Because I asked him, I think I mentioned this to you.
Yeah, you did. You did.
It was under his breath, and I made him repeat it.
Yeah. No, absolutely, DK.
No, that's good. TJ says, this TJ says, I'm just not sold. That's all I have to say on Kenny. Kenny or TJ, he's not going to.
He can't. His only way of selling you is to win and stay there for 17 games.
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years.
Like Ben is always saying.
That's just the way it goes, DK. I'm with you. You're supposed to feel this way. That's just where I am as a Steelers fan, like as a retired Steeler. I was told never say former, retired Steeler. I think it's important, DK. We go ahead and drop this off too real quick, man. Oh, man, where is that? Just that too. It's been a while since we've done that.
That's right. That's right. We haven't talked about memberships for a while here. Papa Ray came in and gifted 20 of them just now. So you don't even have to buy one. You just have to hit accept gifts on the super chat and then go ahead and take one of these 20 that Papa Ray just laid out on the table here.
So the ones that receive Papa Ray's gifts, do they have to call him Daddy now?
No. like they do with Ben in Ohio still. You know?
They do call Ben Dad in Ohio.
Yeah, the boss notes that we've dropped below the 2,000 mark again. I think we've explained before how that works. You have, we'll lose people on the re-upping. We'll lose people when you can only do gifts for 2 months in a row. Okay. If you just shown up in here, be sure to hit the like button. We have almost 1,000 live viewers here, so we should have theoretically the same number of likes.
I see one that's real good, DK, and we'll get more too. But this right here, this comment, I love this time of the year. Michael Penix Jr. Oh my, I love this because it's like draft talk and everybody thinking about the new hot quarterback that's coming out. Let's stop it. Michael Penix Jr. is still playing. We don't know what he look like as an NFL quarterback. I love that we have this type of stuff pop up though, DK.
We had a couple customers in here right before the show started from Houston, and we were getting into a conversation about CJ Stroud.
Who are you?
And they're Steelers fans, but
of course, Ohio State's right down the street.
Well, and also just a chance to talk to somebody who sees him a lot more than I did, just that one game down there.
Yeah,
and they said it's amazing. One of the two said to me, it's amazing that the number of people that are going to be looking at what CJ has done and be impressed with Houston's decision making, and how many people in general are just going to be proven wrong.
Yeah,
Well, he was not the darling quarterback.
He got dogged. Remember his what was the name of that test that we take before?
The Wonderlic.
Wonderlic. Remember? He told them.
Yeah, he's a dummy. Yeah,
he's dumb. He can't make decision making. His reaction is this. And you remember what he said? Screw that test. I'm a football player. Watch my tape. Like in so many ways you try to they dissect and try to lift guys up and bring them down during this time of the year. Kenny was another one of those dudes.
I have to. Here's another thing I've never asked you. Okay, I played sports at the most minor, insignificant level, but I had some people, who were teammates of mine who I thought weren't necessarily, the brightest or whatever. Okay, but on the field of competition, they were really smart.
Very smart.
Please, you don't have to name names or anything here, but just somebody. Did you have guys like that around you where you went, maybe there's that guy doesn't have really a whole lot going on upstairs, but on the field, they just had a feel for everything.
AB, easiest one to pick out.
I mean, AB's instincts. Are you kidding me?
Martavis, same way, just instinctive as hell. Watching him do work. Mike Mitchell. Of course, I think most people look at Mike as a smart guy, but super smart guy as far as the football field.
No, I'm taking that in the right way because I would definitely rush to Mike Mitch's defense as a smart guy.
Absolutely, yeah, he's perceived as a smart guy anyway. The one of them all, and y'all, this ain't me being biased because that's my guy. It's not even close to that. But the perception of Marquise, as far as his attitude and how he was as a football player, you follow his social media now, you see he's a businessman. But his friggin' intellect inside of an offensive line room, an offensive staff room, like meeting, I used to even question, like, how the hell do you know that, Marquise? Like, when it came down to numbers and just the way you set up everything in the hows and the whys, I think Marquise pretty much knew, like, the routes. Like you asked, I don't think he's graduated yet from college.
Dude,
But
you won this conversation with AB.
I mean that, yeah.
AB did stuff on the field that was outrageously intelligent. And if all I had to show you was him reaching out with that football to win you the division, at the goal line against Baltimore, think about the level of awareness of football acumen that went into that. He's not thinking about that possibility in the huddle.
No,
he's not planning that out. He's just going, oh, wait a second. If I just do this, we win the division.
I saw a video earlier today.
Ooh,
actually,
that's so good.
AB with the big rubber boots on. He's explaining to somebody his release.
This is the other side.
His release. Yeah, that's the other. But here, when we're talking football and him, he's speaking about his release. Something I'd never. He said, "What I want you to do is think at the line. If I step here, you're going to give me this, and I'm gone." And it was just so the processing of football information from him, I never heard it at that level to where he's explaining it. He just does it. But then, DK, you be like, you're not a dummy. You do silly stuff, but you're not. And I don't think, never mind. I'm off that soapbox, but yes, him.
See, I have a comic book reference to drop on people here because I'm a DC superhero comics guy.
I realize that now.
Deathstroke the Terminator, he said in a normal voice, the Teen Titans' chief enemy. One of his superpowers was that he could use 90% of his brain's capacity. Wow. Okay. Like most of us use, what is it? You can look that up. I don't even know. I think
it's like 30%. Is it 30?
I don't even think it's that.
Okay.
Okay. It's a really low number. And I think that AB just uses like all 100% of his brain.
Yeah.
On football. Like it just all went to football and there wasn't anything left for
but you know what? I saw people have asked me this before and I was reluctant to answer it. People say, it's the stuff that AB does off field, the theatrics, right? Man, is he broke? Is he dumb? Far from it.
No. That's the part that gets you.
It's that part that gets you. Like this is me and then I'm done with it.
Somebody actually got my Terminator reference. That was his name, Slade Wilson. That's great.
If you look at AB's pathway and all the stuff that he's done, like publicly, yeah, it's some stuff that he's taken the L on. But even the New York Jets thing, DK, he's yet to take a real loss. Not that I'm hoping for one. He spun every friggin' thing into a win. He had people buying his music. Think about that.
Yeah, you had to have been really smart to have pulled that off.
It's either him or he got some people around him. He spun everything into a dub.
He even uses CTE as a joking excuse. He talks about CTE all the time. Every time he does something dumb, right? He just goes, CTE.
The dude, I tell people that all the time. He's yet to take a loss, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Tough. So, yeah, guys are smarter than you think. Now, in the moment of stuff, of course, it's some dumb stuff that happens. But no, I got a defensive one for you, DK. Oh, Canada made an appearance on here. Canada is the only person to ever use less than 1%. Man, one of our uncles has some really good stuff for us, DK.
All right.
Chad, man. We brought up something earlier from Chad. Chad goes, hey, Moan, Dick LeBeau retired in 2015. Things have gone downhill ever since. I can't fully agree with you on that, though, too. But you also got to understand there was a changing of the guard, too. As far as players, a lot of guys retired afterwards. The scheme kind of evolved a little bit more. Keith Butler took over. I wouldn't say things have gone down. Yes, the lack of making it to the big show further in the playoffs, I wouldn't say have gone downhill. Coach LeBeau couldn't coach forever. The defensive schemes that they're using are somewhat still the same that Coach LeBeau employed in Pittsburgh anyway. But again, think about the era in which he coached. Troy, Ryan Clark, Brett Kiesel,
James Harrison,
Casey Hampton. Travis Kersky, Ike Taylor, Deshae Townsend. Think about what you're saying, though, too, Chad. Are those guys on that field right now? The answer is no.
You still have a couple of great players out there.
You do. And you got to get more.
You got to get more, but I think you got to load up on the offense before before anything else here. Vinny asks, since you brought up AB, hey, Moan, do you remember your spike when AB caught that pass to win the division?
I remember me nailing AB too on that.
You did.
He never mentioned it either. I was like, hey, B, I got to get you in the end zone. But yes, I vividly remember that, man. He scored, grabbed the ball, and just everything erupted when I threw that ball into the ground. I'm talking about everything erupted. I remember because you know what was actually going through my mind, DK, listeners? Won the division, yeah. That mattered. We can't ruin Christmas.
Oh, it was right then.
Yeah. I was like, I hated holiday games because I go home like this, you know, with the frown on my face. On my mind was, we got to win this game because we can't ruin Christmas. Like, that was me, man. That was in my mind. Of course, winning the game, of course, all that mattered. But in that initial thought is, we got to win this daggone thing for Christmas, dog.
Brian boomerangs us back to the original subject, and we're just going to take a couple more today. He says, what if Mitch balls out these next 4 games and the offense scores 24 plus and goes 4-0? Does Kenny still get his job back? And bearing in mind that if Kenny misses 4 games, and the prognosis all along, by the way, has been 2 to 4 weeks. That's never changed. 2 to 4 weeks, okay? Baltimore is last. Would you just throw Kenny right back out there?
He's going to want to, but that's going to be a hard coaching decision to make, DK.
If Mitch goes 4-0?
Yeah, that's going to be hard because that's
going to be for the division.
If you don't, then it signifies that Kenny ain't your guy. To me.
Okay.
All right. I'm okay with living this life. I promise. This is great for us in the podcast.
No. I'm
if
just
that's
saying,
the case.
If you're Mike Tomlin, why would you apologize for that? And how would that be a priority over just beating the Ravens down there?
Because he's supposed to be your franchise quarterback.
I don't care. He's coming off an injury. You just say he's not ready.
I ain't saying you're wrong. I ain't saying you're wrong at all, DK. But okay, answer me this. If that was Ben in that situation, is Ben coming back and starting?
Yes, and Kenny's not Ben. Kenny's not a fraction of Ben.
You used my own thing against me right there.
I just did, but you said you put it on the tee. Just like, here, come and kick this.
I didn't layer that right, DK. With what he's done, I don't think he would be in, though. If I can just give a pure answer, no, he's not going back in.
Yeah, I mean, Ben could go out there in crutches, and it'd be like, yep, that's just how it goes. Ben's back. You'd have no issue with Ben going out there on crutches.
That's very sure. That's very true, DK. That makes a lot of sense. I roll with you on that one. That's a great question.
Now,
Brian.
see, and Antoine's taking this further, and I'm still not going to buy in. If Mitch goes 4-0, I usually hate hypotheticals, but these are great. Mitch goes 4-0. Mike Tomlin would let him finish the regular season, but then use Kenny in the playoffs. Like hell he would.
No, he wouldn't.
Oh, your guy just got you there.
Okay. Here we go then, DK. But if that's the case, let's talk big picture because somebody had a question earlier, man. Hold up. You got that one star from Antoine? He got that. I had one start earlier, DK. Give me 1 second. Well, it was about Pittsburgh fans being optimists or pessimists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That was what it was. Oh, right here. That one star. But it's this. For the people complaining about us, Steelers fans complaining, we're thinking long-term. Big picture, not just about the next game of the season alone. Fair. So I'm going to think bigger picture right here, Cody. If that is the case, Mitch goes 4-0 and they make the playoffs and he starts Mitch Trubisky, in my humble opinion, that team is no longer Kenny's. It's not. And Hank, I know you got no problem with it, but I'm just saying Kenny's no longer the guy anymore to me.
11 years you played for this man. You know how little of a crap he gives about this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's be really clear here. You know him 100 billion times better than I do.
His favorite motto, I don't care what good ideas come from. If you're going to help us win, lay it out. And if Mitch,
you're going to help him win in Baltimore, it goes double.
It goes double, DK. You damn right it does. Yes.
So if this happens, this scenario, although not everyone's going to take this scenario seriously, apparently, according to Joe, who says, LOL if Mitch balls out. LOL, right? If it were to happen, then you would absolutely see Mitch take the team into the playoffs. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Because remember how you phrased the question. It wasn't that Mitch got dragged along.
No,
Mitch balled out.
Mitch carried it. Yes, that is a very true thing. And by the way, TJK might reinvigorate Kenny. Shouldn't take that. I see what you're saying, but could also kill his confidence. So I will say so. Me from an undrafted guy, I could care less about a dude's feelings.
Be tougher than that. That's all, and also perform better than that before you got hurt.
That's the other portion.
Okay. I mean, this is the one name I've been waiting the entire show for somebody to bring up is this. If Nick Foles, what happened after that? Nick Foles was your quarterback. Yeah. Okay. There was never any doubt. You could never. The only scenario, I hate to drop other sports into this that I've seen.
No, do it, DK. I like that, man.
No, but when the Penguins won their recent Stanley Cups and Marc-Andre Fleury went back to the bench, it was like, what are you doing? They had to, because there was an expansion draft, they had to pick between one goalie or the other. There was Matt Murray and there was Marc-Andre Fleury, and Murray was the younger guy. He was cheaper and whatever else, and they had to keep him. It's a great problem to have, but you gotta, you gotta make the call, and you gotta make the call with the one who gets you there. Murray won both of those cups in 16 and 17. You had to go with him.
And Nick Foles is the one that ended up getting the statue outside of Philly Stadium.
That's it, man. There's only one objective to this sport.
Yeah. Stay with the hot hand.
Facts. Anyway, when we come back, which we might do here, we'll wrap up today's show here.
You think?
All right? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, James says, and this is a fair thing to remember here, because we're going to hear it a lot tomorrow night with Mitch's first interception. And he's going to throw an interception.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Is it Kenny threw 0 picks for how long? I want to say it's 7 games. It was the longest active streak in the NFL.
Yeah.
Somebody can correct me here if I'm wrong. But that's really impressive. Also, it's really not surprising considering the approach that was taken.
No, it's not, man. This is the quarterback is always going to be the biggest conversation, and it should be. But the issues that they have right now is winning the line of scrimmage on both sides. Like, say what you want to about New England defense, and you alluded to the era earlier, DK. They're going to bring it. They're going to stop what Pittsburgh does well. One of my best friends in the world, Gerard Mayo, is one of their defensive coordinators. Mayo's a very smart guy. He's played in those Pittsburgh-New England series before, too. And knowing that Bill Belichick has this affinity to beating Pittsburgh, some stuff it may be more challenging, even with the 2-10 record that they are. They bring it. DK, you said in their last wins or last losses, it ain't like it's been blowouts. I'm going to read them out for you, too, DK.
Yes.
0-6 to Los Angeles, 7-10 to the Giants. Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts, they lost to them 10-6. They lost to the Washington Commanders 20-17. Their biggest loss was 31-17 to the Miami Dolphins. You see?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be an easy task on Thursday. This group does have to be tight. Coaching does have to take over this game. Discipline, pre-snap, not caring if this is your second Thursday night game. Nobody cares. Show up in prime time. You're wearing the color rush. The end zones are painted gold. This is what you get paid for, these moments right here, man. I got no excuses for him, DK. Mitch is a seasoned guy. He should be able to handle this.
And he should be better than what we've seen of Kenny of late. Now, some people I see are misinterpreting this. Don't kick KP8 to the curb. Just when nobody's kicking anybody to any curb, at least not permanently. Kenny's hurt. He's going to be out probably about a month. Okay? So nobody benched him. Maybe he would have gotten benched after this. I don't know. And Lynn says, wow, I didn't think you'd be buying the casket for KP's career, DK, in year 2, no less, with the worst OC. No, I'm not. I thought he was terrific in Cincinnati. This isn't about politics or taking sides, okay? And not all positions have to be extreme. I think Kenny could learn a lot by watching somebody else take his offense right now, and utilize it. At least try to utilize it. Throw downfield.
Does he get a mulligan because Matt Canada's out and now he got to watch it from a different perspective?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Sure,
That's
he
fair.
does.
That's fair.
Look,
I'm out.
what Ben says about quarterbacks,
3
and I
years.
believed him 3 years, but he says it in both directions. If you're super great in year 1 and year 2, you still got to show it for 3 years, right?
Yes, you do, sir.
Okay. If you suck, you might not get 3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can conceivably, if you've got talent, you've got smarts, you've got want to, and Kenny has all 3 of those, you can bounce back.
Yeah, that's true. That quick question, and Rob Lightfoot also says, Ramon, you said that the guy would get a second chance. Mason Rudolph is ready for his chance. Big guy, big arm. DK kind of alluded to it earlier. I don't know if there's a scenario that's going to work out for Mason Rudolph in Pittsburgh at all.
No. I mean, unless obviously something were to happen tomorrow night, because he's wearing a helmet tomorrow.
His second chance is the fact that he's on this roster, I think.
Yeah, an active roster.
An active. And you got to think
Tomorrow.
he was a delayed free agency signing, too.
And
he wasn't a week 1 guy.
And he has the keys to the car, meaning he knows the playbook.
He knows the playbook.
Demond is asking if there'll be a show tomorrow. Oh, we can talk about that right here. I'm fine.
3:00 tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't have to be at the stadium. We can do it here, and then I go over to the stadium.
Tentatively, yes.
Tentatively, yes.
Yeah,
we'll let you know.
My oldest got basketball tomorrow at like 4:30. So if we did, it'd be a quick in.
It would have to be quick anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Right
we don't have much time of the game. We just get real quick final thoughts on the game.
We need to go earlier also, since we're already here. Do we need to go at like 1 or 2 o'clock Eastern?
I can't.
You can't? Okay.
No.
Look at this show prep right here.
You like that?
Some damn good show prep, DK. Sorry.
Josh Mitchell says, from a lifelong fan, I truly love listening to you guys. That's really cool. It's daily shots every morning, then Hey Moan in the afternoon. Much love, guys. Much love right back. That's really nice.
It is. And by the way, I'm not sure if you saw it, DK, but Rochelle came through swinging again, man.
Oh, really?
With a whole 50-piece.
Speaking of keys to the car, she can come strolling through here any old time. I have a question for Rochelle. There's a Rochelle that's running some kind of Facebook group or something in Virginia. If you're the same Rochelle, let me know. Just shoot me a note or something in one of those. Me and Moan were talking about it the other day. We were wondering if you were the same one. It's not the most common name.
No, it's not, but it's also very
also
common.
Steelers fan, so I thought, but the
she
coincidence
said, nope,
was
not me.
No? Okay. Well, maybe we'll put you in touch with the other Rochelle.
We should. And don't stop. TJ, stop. Okay. I see you. Stop. Stop. Okay. Y'all stop this already. Look at Rodolfo.
No.
Nah, man.
No. It always ends the show, too. We're doing the thing like the what's that actor's name from Moneyball who's in the GIF doing this?
Jonah, what is it? Jonah
Hill.
Jonah
Hill's doing this and going, that's us going.
I freaking love it, Rochelle. You are wanted in this group, and I don't know what for, but
nonetheless, we love Rochelle.
By the way, man, I'm tripping. DK, last one.
We were this close to being out of here.
Hump day. Golly, I missed that, dog.
All right, we'll do it. Like I said, tomorrow, tentatively, we have it set up. We'll let you guys know on the community, on the YouTube community, and over on DK Pittsburgh Sports as well. All right? All right, bye-bye.